What's up, y'all? It's another nice day outside. Going on for a short walk. Gotta take care of yourself, because that's the only way you can feel good, feel lighter. The heaviness of depression comes from the ego. When ego is cluttered, and when you feed the ego too much shit, you are now allowing your mind to take control of whatever the hell you find it addicting, and you gotta cut that shit loose. Do your shit, focus, because when you focus, you're able to provide yourself the best care. So, what to talk about? Why following the light is important? Well, it's simple. You're not the mind. If you believe you're the mind, you're mistaken. How do I entice you? I don't. You do it. It's your job to take care of yourself. I'm not your therapist. I'm just here handing out knowledge. And this knowledge is to guide you, mentor you. I'm not your therapist or your mentor. Knowledge is depend on knowledge, because people are people. Their time comes and their time finishes, but depend on knowledge, because that is how you grow and that's how you learn. Some people take it for granted. They make more mistakes without learning, and they fall behind, and then they turn against themselves, and when people turn against the light, they follow a devil within them that basically does not come from within, it comes from up here. The mind. And the mind is not in charge of spirituality. It is only in charge of duality. Ego is not mind. Ego is a void. It is not a place. It is not a person. It is not an identity. It's not a situation. It is what balances life and death. It is what allows you, the soul, to experience life through pain, suffering, and allowing you to feel the beauty of life and death. That is what ego is. Ego is not supposed to be some, nocturnal rubber band ball made to trap you inside a cage. And that's what they do. That's what people who want power over other people, they will work with their ego, but they're making a mistake. Ego is not supposed to be a god. Ego is supposed to be nothing. If you make ego into something, you are going to pay. There are consequences, and if you believe that ego will save you, you're just gonna fall, and it's gonna be worse than death. You have to be aware that some people are not to be trusted. They do their part, but they're not going to do your work for you. You have to do your part too, so you can be free and live your life at its fullest potential, because you have the power to live the way you want to live. Truth and tranquility allows you to build your own fellowship, to honor your free will, not to gaslight it, not to, throw it away like most people do. They sacrifice their free will to get a job for their children and their family, and everybody has a different outlook, and it's okay if you don't agree with what I say, but just look outside the box. Look 300 years ago, how life was 300 years ago, 3,000 years ago, 300,000 years ago, 3 million years ago. 3 million years ago, we have no idea who was on this earth. We really do not know. But I can tell you one thing. 3 billion years ago, Earth was richer, more abundant. There were species that we have no idea about. They all went extinct. There were species way before, dinosaurs, and maybe they lived with the dinosaurs. They had their own language, they had their own culture, their own belief system, their own way of living. It's like Avatar, the movie. All these movies are documentaries. They're not just for entertainment purposes. When you pay attention, and you pay close attention, you'll see what I mean. Movies are telling you things that 98% will miss. And 99% will laugh at your face thinking you're insane for saying what I just said. But it's true. Only the 2% awakens from their sleep, while those who, are comfortable and they're, sleeping, they're allowing the system to take them out slowly. They're not evolving like you and me and other people. They're not growing up. They're staying inside their minds because they believe they are the mind. experiencing spirituality or nothing at all. When you think that you are a duality experiencing spirituality, you've got it all wrong, my friend. Or you hung around people who got it all wrong and you're just learning about who you really are. You have to go within. Don't follow people. Follow yourself. Follow God. Follow the light. That is who you are. Don't follow anybody else who tries to make believe that, I truly believe that Lucifer was a very wise man. He wrote poetry, but it was all lost in flames of his own ego and rage. He fell because, this is my prediction, and some of you don't have to agree, but that's all right. When he fell, that's because he believed that he was his mind, and he, followed other people, or he followed his ego, and then over time that made that made him go mad. Madness and ego and rage. The amount of shit that the world did to him. He cried and he begged until one day he became vengeful and took his revenge by taking lives. Things that were valuable to him went to the garbage. That's a thing. When you follow ego, the mirror, the identity, if you're trying to be somebody else, everything you have created that belonged to who you are has been taken for granted. When you follow the ego, you are following everyone else in line to perish down into the wilderness of the abyss, the void, the large gap of emptiness. It's psychological, you guys. When psychology starts to think it's spirit, it is a very, very dangerous world, because in that era, you get to decide everyone else's fate, including your own. Everyone worships you like a god. But the dangers of that is, if you decide to kill yourself claiming that you're a god but nothing actually happens, you just brought hell to your own city. That's how I look at the devil. Many of you can have your own opinion, and I respect that, but ego is not supposed to be a person. It's not supposed to be a place. It's not supposed to be a situation either. Ego is just the very thing that allows your mind to subconsciously connect to who you are, which is Source, God. Everything you need to know is within you and all around you. If you allow anybody to tell you being you is wrong, be me instead, Do not follow them. I dare you not. Do not follow them. Because it is a known fact. The devil once used to be like Jesus Christ. Very, very long ago. He used to create beautiful art, beautiful murals. Poetry was just intense, very dark, but very true. Until one day and 1 year, a whole lifetime of work, what the world did to this man, buried him alive. He lost his will of being who he was. And his ego has taken over. He made friends with the wrong people. And when you make friends with snakes who lie, betray, deceive, as everyone learns too late.
He only sees the good in that. Unlike this.
Noise is corruption. He lost his inner peace because he could not allow himself free. Days, weeks, months, years, he isolated himself in darkness, in fear of his own peace of mind. He held on to anger. An inner flame of rage took over his mind and his own free will. The beast within struck him down. He became the villain. Therefore, the prince of the underworld has risen from within to destroy himself. So much to a point where those who have acknowledged their fears have faced themselves, but Lucifer has not, and he fell for the illusion. He became the illusion until it corrupted him so much to a point where he became the vampire of his own power. He used his own power against him. Therefore, everyone around him died. He became a killer until he found the ability and the language of the Black Book, a language so evil that it makes even the light cripple and go against itself. It kneels begging for mercy. But Lucifer found a very, very dark, I have to be wise, like it's difficult to find words because you have to be careful. Some words don't fit.
Hello.
Ambition. He found pride and ambition. And he liked putting pain, so much pain in other people. And he smiled. He enjoyed seeing others suffer.
You know what I mean?
He lost himself. In his own pit of darkness, Lucifer lost himself. And he became his own monster. He walked alone until he found new friends. But these friends were not real true friends. These friends were just like the monster he became. The devil is more than a child's boy in a sick world. The devil was developed through rage, fear, sadness. He was crippled, bullied. I myself walked through that road. And my brain recreated moments that seemed real, where I take a knife and I kill my own father because in his childhood, whatever happened. I wasn't there, I don't know. He hasn't talked about that part of the story for many reasons. His father did really bad shit to his brothers and to him. And he hasn't really talked about his father very much, but I can see it. His anger, his alcohol addiction. But I don't hate my father. I love my father. And I choose love because I just described to you all what hate can do to an innocent man, to someone who is so beautiful, so powerful. But I'm telling you guys, rage and ego and fear can drive you mad. One who thinks he is the mind will become the monster. One who says that he is not the mind will become the prophet. I'm the prophet. And the devil is my mind. All of your minds is the devil. The devil is not Lucifer. Lucifer was just a man who fell in love with the wrong side of him. And there's nothing you can do to fix people like that. Try not to. Because you have enough energy to love yourself than somebody who chooses to hate themselves just because they allowed a very dark road to take their free will to be who they are. Lucifer died, but nobody remembers him as a good poet. Everybody only remembers him as the good actor, the narcissist, the one who fell, the one who got slayed by Archangel Michael. Here is something that you all need to know about villains. They were once you at the very beginning. They were once that person who could tell you everything about somebody who's a monster. That's why I suggest that you become friends with his love that speaks the truth about you, who you really are, than to be friends with their ego, who only talks through their nonsense, their acts, their shows, their noise. The very vortex which pulls you apart if you hang on to them too long. And I sort of changed the quote that I created. Be friends with the musician who talks through his instruments than to be friends with his ego that talks through his mouth. My mind felt a little guilty there because the whole time I'm like talking through my mouth, but that's different. This is different. I'm telling you knowledge. I'm sharing knowledge, and those who talk through their mouth it's not knowledge, it's bitter. If somebody shares you the bitter truth, they're always full of shit. They're always changing something. It's mostly about them, not you. It's mostly about, somebody else. This video is more like, to give you an outlook that everybody is suffering in some sort of way. This is to humble you. It's to be humbled like a bumblebee. You fly around, you buzz around, but you don't bother nobody. You just look at them. You smile at them. It could be 2 seconds. They don't even have to be your friend. You could just say hello. And after that, they could die just 2 seconds later. Or somebody dies in their family. Most people are being rough on them, and the only person they could remember is you because you smiled at them. You made their moment better. And that uplifts them. That makes that person realize that not everybody is a prick. But that's what happened with Lucifer. Lucifer, he did not remind himself that there are still good out there in the world. He just went on and on and on and on and obsessed with the evilness of things. When you focus too much on the bad, it corrupts you. It blinds you. It stops you from being who you are to being somebody else completely. Lucifer is a lot older than Jesus Christ. Lucifer was definitely alive I can feel it, my instincts say that he lived when, the Roman Empire was still around. But he was much older than Jesus Christ. Lucifer was an artist. Kind of like, nobody knows, neither do I, but my instincts say that he was. Creative people often become the spider because we bite harder than our fears. We conquer our, skills, and we become vigilantes by hiding ourselves, because certain people in this world are a really good liar, and they're always looking for new supply. And I'll tell you, It can be very hard to open back up because if you're in the space where you still want to please certain people, don't please people. Please yourself. To be who you are is to cut all ties with those who are friends with the devil. And when I say the devil, it is not Lucifer. The devil is when ego becomes a situation, a place, and a person. I mean the narcissist. And there, paranormal activity does exist. When people die, they do end up leaving behind energy that really, does some fucked up things. It's like Annabelle, the doll. The doll is just a doll, but the spirit that, is attached to the doll is very real as a car driving by. You can hear it, you can feel it, you can't see it. Makes you fear yourself, you fear the dark now. You start seeing things because it wants you to be a resource. Entities like this are a wraith, and wraiths are just as real as a bat hanging on the ceiling of a cave. A wraith is an energy vampire. It can be a person, a place, or a situation. That's why you have to trust your gut. When your gut, squeezes up, it's wise to leave. Even if you, go to a party or a concert with friends, and you feel bad for, leaving your friends behind, choose yourself. Leave your friends behind. You'll know later. Later on, your friends show their true colors, and they're no longer really your friends. They were villains made to keep an eye on you. And then you realize who the devil really is. An artificial face made to corrupt those around you, to control how you see them and to control how they see you. This type of situation is exactly what caused Lucifer to fall, to lose himself. He had anger issues. They were really terrible. I have anger issues. They can be really bad. But the master in disguise only has power over you when you allow them in your mind. And that is by saying, giving them a reaction. All you have to do is give them a reaction, and now they have control of how you feel about yourself and how you feel about them. That's why it is best to acknowledge their intentions before you face them, because you don't face them, you walk away from them. That's how they lose control of you, and that is how they become the problem of a situation they created. Lucifer did not do this. He isolated himself, but he didn't go no contact. He went back, he made fights, he threatened the world that he would do better. Look where that got him. He was rich. He was definitely a multimillionaire. He definitely did things that Jeffrey Epstein did. He definitely did those things. But what does that do? It only covers him with more darkness, more fear of being exposed. When you're a vigilante and you're a criminal, you do have the power to make the world believe that you're a good person. And that's why you have so many devil worshippers, Satanists, and because they believe that there is a higher power beyond their own mind, and that is called psychopathy, not spirituality. Now, if you know somebody who is a spiritual, atheist or stoic, or somebody who thinks they're the brain and they function in a duality basis, but then they try to tell you to do more things, and walk away. Walk away. I'm telling you, walk away. Because in time, when you walk away, time, which is who you are, consciousness, the soul, God, the light, infinity, time will align you with purpose. Those people will expose themselves naturally. You don't have to do anything. People will call this karma. I call this taking action. People notice that you're no longer hanging around with them. They will notice. And by the time they notice, that's when they fall apart. That's when they start, come back to me. I miss you. Let's go hang out at the bar. Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. It's not worth it. I've done it. I made the mistake. I did not follow my gut. And I did it because I wanted to tell you guys, don't do it. It's not worth it. Because what the narcissist does, when the ego defines as a god, an entity, a villain, an identity, of course, a situation, a place, a person. What they need from you is to make sure that they tell you with the wrong intention. They want to make sure that you get what they're trying to tell you, which is telling you that being who you are will kill you. I said it. Being who you are will kill you. That's the secret ingredient to their textbook of lies. Their intention is to make you believe that being who you are will kill you. So, for example, they come in as the friend. Quote, they're not your friend. The truth is, they wear the face of a supporter. Now, you think that they're your friend now, but no. Once they gain control of you, which is gaining your trust and empathy and consideration and compassion, they now have the power to do whatever the hell they want to you. They can take away your rights, your freedom, your empathy, and they can switch that love to suicide. So when you lose weight or you gain weight and now you feel drained and now you don't feel like going to parties anymore, and you ask them because they make you believe they are your mentor. They're the ones who started this whole mess. And now they made you believe that you're the problem of their mess that they created in your life. Then when they leave, they want you to think about them. And they want you to think that you're the villain. And that's what happened to Lucifer. Lucifer, this happened to him like almost 100,000 times. Maybe less, but it can make somebody go insane. I mean, it could make somebody, if you do not heal, recover from this, you will become the narcissist. The narcissist is like a zombie. When they bite and you refuse to heal, in time and with time, you will become just like them. You might not know it yet. You may not notice it. But when people start to call you the narcissist, that is evidence that you are refusing to acknowledge that you are now entering the point where you are becoming corrupted by their venom. See, my cat? Look at this one. She baby. Not my mama. So, take care of yourselves. Don't fall for the fakeness of the devil. The devil is the narcissist. Lucifer became the devil, but he is not. He was never the narcissist first until he was influenced by the wrong people. Or he did have narcissism, but he wanted to do something good about it, but he did the bad mistake by seeing weakness as bad. And, you know, some people you can't save. You have to save yourself. And, you know, you could try to save your father, your mother, your friend, cousin, sibling, stranger on the road, 'cause you're kind, but don't be too kind. Some people can take your kindness for granted. Trust your gut. If you see somebody who fell, they could be on the ground, but your gut says, don't trust them. Follow your gut. And then look back behind you. Somebody becomes the fool.